What is up, Guru Nation? How's it going? It's been a busy day. Didn't have time to do a video today. I did one over the weekend on a stock talk, and it's been so busy. Like, we had to have all the partners for my new site come to town, and we went to two banks to set up our business checking account. I went to the site to make sure the temperature stick was in the right place for the -20. Just a lot of busy work for a brand new site, and didn't have time. Yeah, actually, I missed out on the Curative Biotech Clinical Research Circle interview. Monica, shout out to Monica. Thank you so much, Monica, for holding it down and doing that interview. It was amazing. I'm going to do a reaction to it later today. So I'm going to edit it. It'll be on the Clinical Research Circle, and then I'm going to do a reaction to it, kind of get my take on what the CEO says, all those kind of things, because that's a company, Curative Biotech. That's a company that I'm pretty interested in. So let me know what kind of questions you guys have. I know there's been a lot, and I can get to my grab bag of goodies, all the questions out there. Chris just left. We were going to do a video together. Actually, we were going to go live together, and same with my NP, Jaime Valles, but we all had different places we had to be, and it was just getting really late with the bank. So we finally got it. We have a bank checking account now for our site. We're able to finally execute on our first contract that we have. It's 2 studies. I've been doing some biz dev. Every Friday I follow up on some leads. Today seemed pretty promising. I got back a couple of answers, which from sponsors. When you do biz dev, you don't always get those. As a matter of fact, you rarely get a response. So the name of the game is just to keep doing it over and over and over again until you do get a response. So be on the lookout for way more content today. I got to make up for the fact that I was gone. So I'm going to do this live stream. I'm going to do a short one, and then I'm going to do a reaction to one of my other ones. So we got a question. Have you dealt with PIs that have been non-compliant with signatures? Yes. There's not much you can do other than educate them on why they need to have oversight and document oversight. And yes, you can use sub-Is in those cases to do that, because at least you have some healthcare provider having oversight if they're a sub-investigator, MD, nurse practitioner, physician assistant. But the PI's footprint and fingerprint is something that the drug companies really pay attention to. It's one of the biggest FDA findings, is that there's not enough oversight from the principal investigator. So this is a conversation that needs to be had, and not just once, but on a regular basis with PIs. Most of them understand it. Others understand it and still don't care, unfortunately. And you know what? You do the best you can. I mean, if they're missing signatures, it's obviously deviations. You can only do so many note to files if you're the coordinator, where, the PI actually did do this but didn't sign until later. There's only so much of those you can do, or so often you can do that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And there's not much you can do other than constantly drilling it home for the PI. Like, look, this is what you got to do if you're a PI. You got to, and we'll try to work around your schedule, but you do have to have oversight. Somebody texted me a question, 949-415-6056. I'm taking courses on clinical trials. I realize you don't say much or anything about clinical data manager. I would appreciate if you can do a video on clinical data manager, and if you would mentor me. So we actually have something in store for you, training wise, for data managers. I interviewed Aditya, and so myself, who's a data manager, and myself, Monica, and Chris, and Aditya, and the rest of us from the clinical research circle. We got something coming for you. So just be patient. That's coming soon. That's coming soon from yours truly. There is a question about certifications. I always get these. Oh, thank you, Diane. That's so nice of you. I appreciate. I just got a big box of books. Chris brought me a big box, probably like 60 of our books. So I got a big box of our books. Somebody asked me a question. What do you think about ACRCC or ACRAC courses? And I'm looking at it now, and it says Advanced Clinical Research Associate Certification, and it's triple accredited by ACCRE, which doesn't mean anything. Okay, ICH-GCP compliant. So I'm gonna text back. This training doesn't hold much weight. You know what holds weight? Real industry experience. Like, even if it's in an internship setting, like my CRA Academy, which we just started week 1 this week, which that provides, that's what holds weight. You know what else holds weight? Getting ACRP certified when you can qualify for it. That holds weight. This kind of stuff doesn't hold weight. There's no certification, guys, that's going to get your foot in the door if you don't have any research experience. I might need to make a short video on that. And I might need to repeat myself. There's no certification at all, including my CRA Academy. If we didn't have the internship, my CRA Academy would not really help you get in the industry either. The part that helps you get in is the internship. It's a real breast cancer study we have. So I would question any training that you take that promises to get you in. I don't care if they're quadruple certified by all kinds of acronyms. It doesn't matter. What are you going to put on your resume? Right? Like GCP you can do for free. So yeah, I have a really bad feeling about these training companies. That especially the ones that say that they're an advanced clinical like this one, advanced clinical research associate certification, advanced clinical research coordinator certification. How can you give an advanced clinical research associate certification to somebody who has no experience as a clinical research associate? So just because they take your online course, now they're all of a sudden an advanced clinical research associate? That doesn't hold any weight whatsoever. This stuff, yeah, I get passionate about this because I see people falling for this. This is why we created our CRA Academy, so people don't go this route. I rather them go the route with me. We do the internship. We only allow 15 students a quarter. We'll hold your hand during the whole thing for the internship. That's what I would do. Are you releasing another book soon? No, Diana, not anytime soon. The next thing will be like that book, the same book released in Spanish. Monica and Judy from Latinos in Clinical Research are working on transcribing that into Spanish. So that's the next best thing. Writing a book is tough. It's way tougher than I thought. In some sense, it's easier than I thought, and it's a lot harder than I thought. So it's a lot harder in the sense of the amount of content you need to distill to make a book that's not overwhelming. That was way harder than I thought it would be, and organizing it. And then actually writing it to me was tough. Like I do not like writing. The easy part was like the publishing aspect. I didn't have any publisher. It's self-published. And it was easy. And we're selling every day units. And we're ranked in our industry against other books that are published, like with publishers, like professional publishers. We did it on our own, never having done before, and we're outperforming. So then that was easier in that sense. But thank you so much, Diane. We got another question. Can you? Oh, okay. We have okay. This is for somebody's a student asking about the internship. Um, and people are look. There's people getting hired right now, guys. There are tons of companies. I have to do a LICR job posting one, but there are tons of companies out there that are having a hard time finding staff. We got another question here as well. We got a bunch of questions here. It's been a busy Monday. Any more questions? Do you know what kind of questions managers would ask in an oncology CRA interview? Yeah, so they're if they know that you haven't had monitoring experience before, they're not going to ask you monitoring questions. But so whatever you say you've had experience in, they're going to ask you questions around that. So if you say you've been a study coordinator in oncology, they're going to ask you questions about what assessments did you do? How did you dispense the IP? What was the process at your site? How did you check compliance? How did you check for tumors? How did you check for RECIST criteria, for example, um, which are the CT scans and all those kind of things, like measuring the tumor size? They're going to ask you about complete response, partial response, stable disease, progressive disease. If you don't have any oncology experience, they don't expect you to know anything about oncology. So whatever it is that you have the experience in, that they're obviously interested enough to interview you, they're going to ask you about that. So whatever you put on your resume, they're going to ask you about that. So don't worry if you put, yeah, I mean, if you've been a CRC but never been a CRA, they know that, right? But try to show them like the transferable skills that you've picked up. Did you ever QA a colleague's source? Did you ever help them prep for an audit? Did you ever do protocol training? All the things CRAs do. Try to think of times that you've done similar things. Um, that should help. I'm here in Canada and want to learn more about clinical research. Currently looking for a job. I have 10 years of experience in clinical research in Singapore. It's very hard to find a job in Canada. Can you please share more tips and knowledge how I'll pass the interview and answer the questions correctly? You're just not applying enough places because they will take your experience from overseas. You might have to go down a step. So if you were like a data manager, you might have to be like a data associate. Or if you were a clinical research coordinator, you might have to be a clinical research assistant. Or if you were a CRA, you might have to be in-house CRA. But they will take your international experience. I got another good question here. Somebody actually emailed it to me. Let me find it. Let me find it. But in the meantime, let me know what you guys are doing on this Monday, 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 doing. Went out. I went out for a second, but I'm back. It's this webcam. This webcam's constantly doing this to me. I got to figure out what's going on because it's not supposed to be doing that. Okay. Man, now I can't find it. 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 I promise you guys there was one really good question I wanted to get to, and it's coming. I just gotta find it. Technology's not on my side today. Here we go. Here we go. Technology is not on my side. What are the differences between the US and Canadian regulatory documents? A colleague said Canada doesn't use 1572s. They do if they are using US sites. Canada has their own. So 1572 is a FDA thing. Canada has their own version of the FDA, just like the European Union. So the sites in Canada that are Canadian sites, they don't use 1572, but the sites for the same study in the US would use the 1572. So you just gotta Google. Like, I don't know the actual form. What's the equivalent in Canada? Maybe someone else does. But just Google like what are the Canadian 1572. You'll get a good response from. Let me Google it. What is the Canadian 1572 in clinical research? What is Canada's equivalent of the FDA? The FDA and Health Canada are the regulatory authorities for USA and Canada, respectively. So I would look at the Health Canada regulatory authority and see what the actual form is, because I don't know. I've never actually done studies in Canada. I think that's all I got for today, guys, for this Monday. Let me know what else you guys have. I can't find this question. That was a really good question. I can't find it, so I'm going to have to save it and do another video at another time for it. But if there's no more questions, thank you very much. Stay tuned for more video. We're going to be posting all the. Oh, Angelica, have we done studies in Mexico? No, I personally haven't. My colleague from Latinos in Clinical Research, Judy, has. And their regulatory agency, their version of the FDA, is very strict. So here in the US, if it might take like a month for a site to get started, in Mexico it takes like 6 months because they need to make sure they have labs, like local labs. There's no real central lab there, so it's all local lab that you got to use. You got to have different licenses. The regulatory startup in Mexico takes a while. We are looking to start doing this with Latinos in clinical research. And matter of fact, tomorrow we have our LICR webinar again. And I'm going to be sending, if you're not subscribed, make sure you go to latinosinClinicalResearch.com and subscribe, because I'm sending the email out today for tomorrow's webinar. Hi, Yusuf. How's it going? So I would talk to Judy. I'm about to do studies in Mexico, but probably next year. We have a few doctors in Mexico City that are interested in wanting to do studies. Hi, Pop Squash. How's it going? I like the football logo, football avatar. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna find that question because it was a good one, and I'm gonna do a quick video on it. And thank you guys very much for watching and listening. And make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, share. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. I got some interview. We got some busy content tomorrow. We got a lot of content. I'm interviewing a CRA tomorrow who is opening a site. We're interviewing another publicly traded biotech CEO. We're doing a Latinos in Clinical Research webinar. I'm doing my videos on top of all that. We got a lot going on tomorrow. So thank God I took care of all the stuff for the site today, because tomorrow there's no time. Just content. That's all there's time for. Hi, Yenisa. How's it going? Thank you for the robots. If you don't know what to comment, just like Yenisa, if you're watching this later, put robots. Sorry, today wasn't as good as most days. Technical issues. disorganized email. I can't find questions people are asking. We'll get back on track, I promise. Subscribe to LatinosInClinicalResearch.com so you don't miss out tomorrow. And catch you guys later. Bye-bye.